I think inspiration is necessary in a time that you can see there are a lot of developments that are worrying. We see the upcoming of autocrats all over the world. Yes, today we've been speaking about the rule of law, but more and more it's about the rule of the strongest. We have concerns about inequality in the world. You can see the upcoming of populism. All these developments are there. And then the question is, of course, what about hope in society? And in my view, hope is always connected with values and communities. Let me make some remarks about that. Values. Mike, you've known Amitai Etzioni, a famous thinker about communities, a professor in communitarism. And he wrote a book, and you know that book, The New Golden Rule. And that's a rule you can find in almost all religions. Treat others as you want to be treated by others. It's a fantastic rule. This year is 250 years after Adam Smith, the famous founder of modern economic thinking, wrote his book, The Wealth of Nations. But 17 years before he wrote that book, he wrote another book, The Theory of Moral Sentiments. Today we've been talking about religion. Let me mention the social teaching of the Roman Catholic Church. That's about human dignity, personalism, solidarity and subsidiarity. And the World Council of Churches years ago spoke about the concept of a responsible society. I'm a big defender of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And the basic idea, the basic value behind all these goals are leave no one behind. The encyclical Laudato Si of the late Pope Francis, Laudato Si, has the wording, he considers our planet as our common home. And it's remarkable, Mike, that you here talk now in terms of the home we built together. Again, the home is a beautiful wording. And maybe you know the name of Peter Drucker, a famous economist. And years ago he said, responsibility must be the guiding principle in the knowledge century of the 21st century. Values. I think values are key, and as Prime Minister always underlined the essence of values. And besides that, communities. Not so long ago, I heard a presentation of a woman from the United States, and he was doing research on relations and relationships. And she's underlined the importance of good relations because she said this has to do with quality of societies, it has to do with health, with well-being of people. Relations are always key. And then democracy. It's really fantastic that we've seen during the last centuries the upcoming of democracies. That people can unite, that people can have political parties, that you can express your views. But we also see books the last years, the end of democracies, how democracies die. We see sometimes there's a gap between political institutions and people. People are not satisfied with results of democracies. And upcoming populism. That's what you can see in today's world. And I'm concerned about those developments. And why I'm concerned? Because if we do not have an economic organization, responsible capitalism, that serves society, if companies are supposed to serve the interests of only the shareholders, if people do not trust democracies, then we have huge difficulties, and that has to do with the fact of trust in society. I always like the book of Francis Fukuyama, written in 1995, Trust. And in those days he said, high trust economies, high trust societies, high trust companies are performing much better than low trust economies, low trust societies, and low trust companies. The fact that trust is really key. And when you're watching what's happening in the world, you can see sometimes a lack of trust, and that's something that worries us. And that brings me to the book Govert Buyse and I have written, Capitalism Reconnected. Why did we write this book? In discussions Govert and I had, we said there are in fact 3 very important discussions and we should think about that. The first is, what about the position of Europe? We have to rethink the position of Europe because everything is changing. Today, Europe sometimes is a battlefield between the superpowers, the US and China. Rethink the position of Europe. 2, think about the position of people. Do they believe in democracies? What to do with the disconnect between politicians and people? Second point. And the third point is, what about the future of our economy? And we say it should be responsible capitalism. That's our view. And we said these three subjects should be considered in an integral way. You must have a broader view on those different developments, so try to have a view on the future, and it's not only about Europe, it's of course going beyond. I'm happy that we've done it. We had many discussions, we spoke with a lot of people, with NGOs, with young people, young economists, etc. It was also the fruit of the right discussions. And when we were writing our book, we said, if you want to have this view on the future, it has to do with values. And we mentioned 4 values in our book. The first is human dignity. The second is inclusivity. I've mentioned the word inclusive institutions. The third is regenerativity or circularity. Think about the natural resource on our planet. And the fourth is co-creation. These are the 4 key values we're using. And in our approach, it's necessary that if you have such a view on the future, in fact, you need all actors. This is not only a story for economists or for governments or civil society organizations or for creative thinkers. You need, in fact, everyone. That's a bit our vision.